Victory is ours.
Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 of our first quarter-finals series today. Playing as the Brits on Crossing in the Woods after an amazing first game as OKW. It is going to be Isildur and his teammate Vonasten.
And in the south, 25,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. It's Captain S. Price. And the Prodigy. Both men from Poland, both playing OKW.
Double OKW.
Nice.
On Crossing in the Woods?
Maybe. It's usually a Wehrmacht/Ost here, Matt. But as we said in the first game, it wasn't quite evident, but they are death ball players. They do like to lose the first Stern Pioneer, then try and lose the second one, maybe. Oh no, they've got a Tommy there. It's all for... They've won down. They lost two. Very expensive Stern Pioneer squad.
Yeah, it's a high reinforcement cost, so not what you want at the start. But I mean, they're using it correctly because they forced the British squad away from fuel in the early game. So Prodigy and Price looking to get double up on the fuel resource, which is what happened to them in the last game. So returning the favour.
Yes, giving them the old Axis on Crossing in the Woods Arenio, and let's start thinking about Game 3. No, anyway, we got Tommy's... I was going to say cowering, but no, they're fighting from behind two trees, peekaboo style. Here comes the Universal Carrier, known in Company Areas 1 as the Bren Gun Carrier. In this case, it's got a little Vickers mount, or it's going to possibly have one. Elsewhere in the west, blue versus yellow. It's Hulk Hogan, eat your heart out. And they're running wild with Mosin Nagant rifles versus Kar 98Ks. And the MP3 Chariots of Fire possibly to be.
I think actually we see allies here. They've gone for the Universal Carrier, they've gone for the M3 Scout Car, and it's a really aggressive early game strategy. He's going for the strategic decap. Again, we saw this in the last game being played by them. They're going to decap all the resources on the left-hand side of the map for the Axis, trying to stunt their ability to get vehicles out early on. So making great use of that light vehicle push right from the start.
No Fausts either, no trucks down for Volksgrenadiers, unlike their Grenadier cousins. Means no Fausts in the very, very early game. They can get within garrisons, though, and lose more soldiers within their squad and be pushed away cohesively.
I mean, you make a very interesting point with the no Faust there, because with double OKW, they're going to require their tier structure up before they can Faust, which means this is the perfect opportunity for light vehicles to go around. The only thing they've got to fear is those sneaky stealth Rakettans, of which Captain Price is being forced to build one at the moment. So good use of those light vehicles to start the game.
Oh god, Tommies are getting gunned down though there. Negative cover engages. Tommies look like they're going to survive, but it's so close. So very close.
Yeah, you've got to be really careful with those retreats when you've got a lot of enemy squads there. M3 Scout Car from Vonasten comes in to try and help clear up this build-up of Volksgrenadier on the right-hand side of the map. Two light vehicles working together at this stage of the game. The Rakettan is still in the center, so relatively safe right now.
Relatively safe indeed, but will it be the harbinger of doom? There are two light vehicles on the battlefield, as previously mentioned. So the Rakettenwerfer is at its most powerful point. It hasn't been revealed yet, it's in cloak, and it will strike like a coiled viper.
It's very important that they get the surprise shot off with that Rakettan, I feel, because once they give the game away, we'll probably see, you know, the uses of the light vehicles change. They'll probably be equipped with, say, minesweepers and used for like mobile minesweeping rather than pushing the field the way they have been able to bully OKW so far. We've already got our first commander pick, NKVD Rifle Disruption, and this is great because of the radio intercept. This allows Vonasten to hear in his headphones what his opponent brings onto the field.
Well, it is the secret police of the Soviet Union, of course. In this case, it's more the military wing of them. Has some interesting abilities. It's one of the ones that is going to get reworked quite decisively, which will be getting released this week. Australia Stern Pioneers operating as a tandem. We do have the Vickers up and upgraded and mounted upon the Universal Carrier.
Yeah, both light vehicles are still on this side, and there's a Rakettan from Prodigy as well. And he's looking for that moment where they can draw out one of the light vehicles, take that first shot, and if it's near enough, And Raketten might be able to get the second shot to finish the vehicle off. So they
what are these French grenadiers doing? One of them's crawling very slowly towards the victory point. He's a hero! He's a hero, goddammit, look at him! The third right kills him. Oh, he's getting burnt to death! Those horrible, heinous people! Why would they do that?
It's a brutal game.
Brutal world out there, Dan. Hold me.
Here's the scout car there. I think scout car maybe just testing to see if anything takes a shot at a range it's safe to retreat. And the battalions are going to go in first.
Oh, Raketten might get revealed. Keep an eye on that. Might suddenly become fully in the flesh. Tommy's getting quite close. Oh! Universal Carry reveals it. Oh, and there's the surprise element now extinguished.
The scout car has the ability to go back. He wipes both models and gets a star of veterancy for that. Now he's able to keep flaming models on the retreat as they come back into the base. Very unfortunate for Prodigy. Low health Volk's Grenadier, but he is going to get the Faust. There's nothing to close the gap between the M3 and take it down at this point. So
this game's still got a hell of a lot of legs, though. It's not like the first game. I believe that Prodigy and Captain S. Price decided to GG knowing that they'd have access in Game 2, so they weren't too worried about their shaky start. However, with nice little squad wipes like that, more to come possibly from Vonasten and Isildur, you may be thinking that that was a foolish decision not to try and drain their opponent's endurance.
Very good point.
Thank you. I'm here all day.
Well, it's when you're in this position, one of the best ways to get out is to try and muscle your way out. They've just mine-swept a mine on the munitions point there, so let's get a little bit of intel. It's going to save a few models if they go back.
Oh, nice Raketten shot from max range. They fought fire with the incendiary grenade, and they got a good rocket off. Panzerschreck on wheels, operating at full capacity. Focus Grenadiers in a tricky spot, though. These are only conscripts, however. They don't have the muscle of a penal battalion. Despite the water-cooled machine gun from the British colonial era, it is the Maxim Ratata.
And you see they built themselves some nice green cover. That'll be the conscripts building cover for the Maxim to hide behind. And what a great vantage point over the VP. If only they could get some vision, they'd be able to start suppressing the squads. But as if that's needed right now, Isildur going for that strategic decap again.
Not getting it there this time. And there's a lot of muscle in the south, so it's fool's errand. Just to point out to new players, the beauty of Company of Heroes, I mean, machine guns aren't very good at spotting. You need somebody to spot for them, so like a pioneer or a combat engineer to give them a little bit more vision, and then they'll shoot.
We can actually show everyone the vision isn't that great.
But their max range is, I mean, it's you know, 70% of their range is their vision, so you want to get that extra 30%, and the way to get it is with a spotter.
See Vonasten here, he's laying some mines down on a retreat path, so maybe they're expecting that a Lux will arrive. You've got two OKW players. Lux is on the field for Prodigy. Price is going for the Puma, so a double mechanized build for OKW. You can see these headquarters here.
Oh, nice shot there. That was from the 6-pounder, it must have been, of Isildur, the Bane, to use a Lord of the Rings pun, of the Panzer II's life right now. Vickers pummeling these Folks Grenadiers from their point of cover, so they won't get suppressed very easily at all. They have a huge suppression reduction modifier when you're behind green cover, 50%, I believe.
Vonasten and Isildur are looking very strong today, I have to say. They've got great map control. Even when you look and you see...
look at another shot! Sorry to interrupt you there. Oh, it's going to be safe. Unless it was a Hail Mary attack ground that somehow whizzed into the other and got the kill. Very rare to see. What was your point, Dan? What were you saying?
I was just going to say, we've still got the scout car on the field, and I love what Vonasten's doing. He's leaving it on the wings of the map, waiting for those retreats where he can just go in and flame away. And it's really good to still be making use of that unit, you know, this stage of the game. It normally gets taken down fairly early on.
Panzer II having a good surveillance point there, just taking a few cheeky pot shots at the combat engineers. Elsewhere in the west, machine gun in the garrison. It is going to suppress the foot screens because they're only behind yellow medium cover. Here's a truck that will afford these Tommies green cover when they get there. They'll bolster Tommies. They have that 5th man. Nice point by the 6-pounder. That's going to get many stars. One more kill required. Will it get the shot? Panzer II in the rear of your picture.
I don't think he's got the vision for it, unfortunately. It would have been fantastic. You've got the MG34 here, trying to suppress infantry coming onto the VPs. If they can get the center VP, they will get a triple cap. And that is a very, very important winning tool for the game. Of course, the victory points are what wins the games in Company of Heroes. So that's what the players are
Especially in high-level games, you don't see many annihilation victories in top-level play. It is a concerted battle to destroy your opponent's army, but so you can control the map. Zisgun barrage, woefully inaccurate. It's going to carry on firing regardless. But the Maxim had the fire, and it means the squads now disperse, so they don't all get suppressed. Here comes the M3 scout car disembarking to keep away from the Puma, which is on the prowl, looking to penetrate the weak armor of the Lend-Lease scout car.
What a smoke there. Did you see that? He detected that the AT gun was there, popped the smoke as he drove past to stop himself from taking a hit from that AT gun. So good preservation from Price there. He wants the Puma to dive in and be able to pick off units like the M3 scout car without taking any hits himself. Now he's going to be backed up by the Lukes from Prodigy, and I'm sensing we're going to see some kind of push here.
They've assembled all their relevant troops, and these poor boys in yellow don't know what's going to hit them. They've got an anti-infantry tank which has been hit itself by an anti-tank gun. They've got a Puma. Saying that, I mean, Vonasten, top 5 in the world player by most people's estimations, is in a good position, as is Isildur. Currently, he's got the base artillery pummeling.
You can see it there firing from the base in the background, the British ability here.
Pyrotechnics on one of the infantry squads, and forces away the Rakettenwerfer and the MG, so good win there for Isildur.
He's calling in a recon plane currently. We can see what he can see in the base. Recon is a really important tool in this game, and I really like to see players using it, because of course knowing what your opponent's building, he'll have just spotted that there's tier 4 going up on this side for Prodigy. This gives them the intel that they know their opponents are starting to tech.
Oh, there's a mine here. This could be a detonation. Couldn't quite take out the French Grenadier and died as a result. We knew it was going to be a detonation, but what I meant is it could have destroyed the squad had it been, you know, one second quicker.
A bit closer. Yeah.
Oh, lovely field artillery barrage. One more and it's done. Oh, there you go. And the combat engineers are perfectly placed to get it. Here comes an Urov from the conscripts jumping in. Will the French Grenadiers get there? They may lose the squad as a result.
Wow. Still, that's an impressive hit, and he recrews it, but hasn't got enough models and health to retreat. It looks like he does, but he's very lucky to get control of that MG34 again.
That's Mosin-Nagant accuracy in this game for you. They're not the best. That's to compensate for the fact they have 6 models. Here comes the Stuka Zufus, the walking Stuka. The plane that they chop the wings off and put wheels on, and here comes it, 6 bombs hurling high into the sky. Where are they going to fall? That's nice of him. I like that, a warning shot just to say you've got the weapon, you don't have to use it. Well, the Rakettenwerfer doesn't think that, it's going to use that weapon all day.
Stuka's a good choice here, I think, because we've got the support of the MGs and the AT guns in the field. Anything that's static is a great target for a weapon like that, so indirect fire from Prodigy, not a bad shout.
What's happening in the... there's a bit of skirmishes popping up all around the battlefield. Sniper in the build for Vonasten. He always builds a sniper around this time of the game. I think that's wise, you know, because he makes sure he's got control, and he makes sure the sniper has a meat shield so it can operate behind its own lines and, you know, plink away. That tank was just destroying a shed I just saw.
The sniper's important for a number of reasons. Because this unit can stealth in cover positions, I think it's great on a map where there's loads of cover positions in the center, because you don't always have to use it to fire. You can stealth it and use it for recon. So there's loads of uses you know, for a unit
See
like
that door just fly off? Look at that! That went into space, that was brilliant. Here come the boys, the conscripts getting suppressed by the MG34 of Captain S. Price. Roaring. Are they threatening an anti-tank grenade? Did they have it upgraded? No, they don't. It was a feint. Very nice. Ooh, Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell's army is on its way.
Cromwell's important here. So Cromwell, I think, is the dominant. Actually, just having a quick look. It's the dominant vehicle at the moment. There is only really the Puma to deal with this. It's a bit risky, though, to dive with it like this, knowing that there might be mines around.
He might get it. The Puma's got a good shot on him, though. Going to force the Cromwell away. The Mark IV cruiser tank call, because it could hit, with its governors taken off, which they did on the field, could hit upwards of 40 miles per hour, which for, 25-ton vehicles, pretty damn good.
It's a tough retreat path there for the Volks Grenadiers. The Stuka is firing again. We know roughly where it's going to be.
Where were you when the bombs fell? Well, out of dodge, I was going to say. And then the last rocket dismembered that crew. It is going to be a recruitable weapon. They're very close to home.
That's a bit of a lucky hit there, to be honest, to get all the models whilst they were spread out like that. Good innings. Cromwell here, this is a really good mechanic. Being the dominant vehicle, it means that allies are going to be very comfortable in taking the right-hand side of the map and holding it. Question is now, can they push Axis off the left-hand side and cause chaos for their movements? And of course, you want to be solid. You want to have like a solid point on the map that you can work from, fire, indirect fire from. You don't want to be constantly forced back in your base territory.
Oh, nice shot from the Cromwell there. Sappers pushing to take the central victory point. Should be noted, by the way, the victory points have a lot of parity right now. This game has a lot of legs. Vonasten, of course, has chosen a doctrine that gives him the Sturmovik attacks later in the game. NKVD rifle disruption tactics, of course. And we've got elite armour from Captain S. Price. If you hover over that one, then I believe that's one of the commanders that maybe it's a premium item, could be 75% off. Go check in Steam sale. Sturm Tiger could be later on in the game.
Well, engine damage on the Puma there. It has been snared. And of course, that means the Puma is going to be moving a lot slower. Cromwell, I think, was trying to see if there was an opportunity to go in and take a shot there. Prodigy a little bit late to get the Raketten up for the Cromwell countering. And it's a really delicate balance, because sometimes when you take that snare, you know your opponent's going to rush you, so it's down to your teammate to come in with some support weapons and help you out. And you can see that synergy is going on. I like that between
LEFH artillery cannon by Prodigy, deep within his base sector. There it goes, going up right now. 10.5 centimeters area of denial tool. But if your opponent, for some reason, has to retreat through that area of denial, or sticks around for too long, they are going to be an area of dismemberment.
We're going to be seeing the Stuka fire at any moment.
They only completed the Maginot line up to Brussels, and in this case only up to this edge of that fuel point. Here comes the Stuka. This will be on the retreat path.
I think so.
Oh, this could be bad. Comm engineers, what are you doing? Obliterated. Luckily, though, for Vonasten, the squads survive and the veterancy is retained. The all-important, better 50% repair time veterancy.
There really was such little movement there. That's crazy. Tommies here have been upgraded with the Bren guns. This is going to make them much better in their long-range engagements now. They're going to be able to hold cover very well, and also they're going to be able to advance very well with the damage they're going to be doing to this MG. Remember, of course, they still do have access to drop artillery down from the base. So very effective squads here.
Cromwell is the mobile indirect fire option there that they need. Forces away the MG. Rakettenwerfer is lurking. All 3 victory points in Allied hands.
The enemy have 300 points.
Is the LAFH firing them? Can we keep an eye on that? Have a little look at...
Okay, yeah, see it firing at the moment. Probably going to be firing here on the mortar pit. So, notably, actually, one thing with the Axis artillery we always mention is the counter barrage. Now, if they can get veterancy 1 on that artillery piece, pop it on counter barrage, it will continually fire back at that mortar, which is the efficient way of dealing with it.
When your brace is on cooldown, it will get taken out in no time. Panzer II being forced away by the superior Allied army composition at the moment of utilisation, I'm not sure. Penal battalions on low health being forced away, Rakettenwerfer pushing up just to get a better vantage point. The Panzer II looks is in danger and is taken out of control and destroyed by the Cromwell.
That's a nice little push there. He just saw the opening where he could poke the Cromwell through a gap in the hedgerow and get that final shot off. Wasn't the AT support there to help fend the Cromwell away. Isildur Vonasten, I mean, I really do feel like they played very, very well in the 2 games. This being the second.
By the way, Prodigy and Captain S. Price. Stukas is firing. Let's keep an eye on its barrels. This time it's going to the centre right. Ah, he attacked. That was just the right of left of the pond there, wasn't it? I think it's just a few Tommies got taken out by the looks of things.
So the artillery is firing once again on the mortar pit. It's difficult.
Oh, there's a retreating squad though. This could be lucky. Cromwell's blocking them in. Oh. One more shot. Nah, he's going to be alright.
You can dream, but
close. In the east, MG's watching on. Sternpioneer is pushing in. Cromwell's overlooking the situation and reversing over the Sternpioneers, causing the retreat.
You see that Raketna get a shot. This is max range, but it will connect. And cheeky Cromwell there firing a smoke shell, which is going to stop the machine gun suppression, maybe allow the
Maxim to push in and get a better vantage point. The Vickers did. It used the smoke to get behind those trees to watch over the victory point. It was really clever play by Isildur. Something that was very rusty on account of not playing in GCS 2, I note, but he loves 2 versus 2, and he's clearly shaken off that
Enemy
rust.
causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Ooh, here come the bombs. Oh,
right here.
that is a Katusha barrage from Vonasten this time. Coach Grenadier is retreating through Hellfire and Brimstone. Oh, and obliterated and sent straight to the gates of Hades by that Stalin Organ Katusha. Sternpioneer, is it going to survive? 1-on.
That is very, very lucky to survive that. Yeah, I mean, the Katusha, actually, which we see here, just an orchestra of death, seriously. So many rockets that come down over a relatively small area, I'd say. So you really have to clear out when that comes in. And, you know, otherwise you risk what we saw happen. Losing the units, losing the models.
Yeah, I suppose it was the first barrage. A little bit unlucky to be so unlucky in that situation. But they know now. Here comes the Snoopers of Zeus returning fire straight onto the central retreat path. Tommies go right to try and manipulate the situation, but they had to retreat through it anyway. Sniper could have died there, by the way. Vonasten exhibiting a little bit of tardiness with some of the retreats, but he's still playing damn well regardless. Building an SU-85, I note, so that's interesting.
I'm actually wondering what's going on with Prodigy and Price. Like, where's the late game build here? What do you think that's going to be? Because I don't see much in tanks with the potential for the Sturmtiger.
Particularly, you know, to get a pack 43 perhaps. You know, Captain S. Price is thinking about the Sturmtiger, so they'll have a great synergy there of anti-tank and anti-infantry. Well, anti-everything. Here's a nice, interesting death ball starting to build for Captain S. Price. Mortar is going to be relatively safe behind the trees.
Oh, just saw the Panzerschwerer headquarters trying to set up there, and it was unfortunately just had to be cancelled. And that's the building that will allow the heavy tanks to come in.
Boomer with some decent shots, but gets obliterated by the Sherman Firefly. Oh, gets return fire from the Rakettenwerfer. Needs to get out of there.
Fireflies, got to be careful of some pathing issues. Where is that Katusha?
Katusha, there you go, it's taken out the MG-34, forcing it back to base. Folks Grenadiers pushing in because they have to remove the triple cap. 200 points remaining. Oh, look at this. Prodigy has joined his units up to put force away with an arrowhead effect.
A bit of a late movement there from Isildur. I don't know if he's going to get that 80 gun out, and that recaptured would be exactly what Prodigy needs to help keep the Cromwell and the Firefly away.
Oh, Stukasvus could make up for the... Oh, the sniper! Being on the field there! You need to counter sniper as OKW when you... Oh, the mortar as well could be going down very shortly. There you go! Incendiary used. Wow, the Axis are on a great assault here. Showing just why they were so confident in the early GG as Axis on crossing in the woods, because they were so confident in their double OKW play.
Yeah, that was a really good combination of hits there. It's going to make things very difficult for the Allies, who of course seemed like they were in a very much winning position just seconds ago. And like this game changes a lot. You know, the hands of who's winning changes very frequently.
Really does, but great players are driving those changes. They're taking it in turns, and right now it's the ascendancy of the Axis. Despite their victory point count, they've had some great wins. The Cromwell is going to try and make up for it. Just gets Werft by the Rakettenwerfer. Thrown by the Rakettenwerfer. We don't understand German. Nobody truly does. Forced away. Bet 4 Folks Grenadiers watch on. And Schwer is now going to be constructed over here. So they are making their wall. The Siegfried line.
Look at the artillery right now. Where's that firing at the moment? I think Prodigy's trying to fire into the opponent's base area and hoping for those shells to drift over. But this, by the way, anybody who's questioning the accuracy of the LEFH really needs to use counter barrage, really, because it's at its best and very accurate when counter firing.
Oh, got the Katusha firing. Is firing to the southwest. Let's check that out. Just keeping the victory point in control for now. Maxim from Vonasten watching on as well. It's an MG standoff. This is a detonator. Oh, was very close to doing it. Oh, what's we've got building for Prodigy? He's got the standard Panzerkampfwagen 5, the Panther, with its fixed transmission, roaring onto the battlefield.
Oh, it's on the Katusha! It's a hit!
That Stuka is baller. It's hitting 3-pointers from way out of bounds there.
Well, I mean, if you want to take that unit down, that's one way of doing it. If your opponent's playing a bit static, here we see a great combination. We've got propaganda artillery to force retreat of the Axis units there, and that's going to leave the Panther potentially vulnerable. The SU-85 that we see on the other side of the bank is not keen.
Not keen at all. Don't want to go too deep behind any lines. I mean, the Allies have done a good strategy so far. They've controlled the victory points and they've outmuscled their opponents. Looking at the tactical map, as you can see though, the Axis are on the rampage right now. Look in the west, look how strong Captain S. Price's units starting to get up into enemy territories. And there we go. But Vonasten is on the counter-attack. It's such a fierce, competitive battle out there. We chose wisely with casting this series. We knew it'd be feisty.
I think actually the potential for games to be great in this series is high. Of course, you know, great players. We've cast these guys so many times. We know that there are shows to be seen still. Here comes a combination. The Cromwell and the SU-85 are going in to try and deal with the Panther. There's a little bit of pathing issues as Vonasten is blocking in Isildur. And the SU-85 has to be so careful not to lose out to the Jagdpanzer 4 from Captain S. Price.
They're outgunned now. The Jagdpanzer with the Panther combination is late war German armour supremacy in you know, the certain circumstances it thrives in. That's when it's you're staring down the barrel of said guns. More rocket artillery. Oh, this time it's the Katusha and the Stuka firing at once. Katusha hits down here, forced away a lot of Prodigy's army and still has its last barrage firing just now. Sniper's just been rebuilt for Vonasten. He's clearly happy with the merits of its work.
You see, he is retreating the Katusha back to the base now, I think for fear of another rogue Stuka shell.
Must have been the second. Has that Katusha got 12 kills on its first barrage?
No, because it did do the Maxim earlier in the game. Oh, this is a bad place to park. We know this already. Very nice incendiary grenade there dropped by the Volksgrenadiers. They're trying to get into that central VP. They want the VPs. It's the best chance of winning the game, and we've nearly got 100 left for Axis, so they need to fight and get VPs back from the Allies quickly.
Tommy's holding strong with those Bren guns. Volksgrenadiers can't do the work they need to. Oh, huge shot from the Jagdpanzer. We're going to have to pan our camera down because there's so much action on our screens. Jagdpanzer gets the kill. 1,286 experience for Captain S. Price. And he deserves every point of it.
I think he was blocked in by the SU-85.
Oh.
Blocked in by his teammate. That's bitter.
Vonasten's joining the Polish side here. He's an insurgent. Polish resistance, clearly.
Great game so far. Oh, there comes a 4 there. Left a little bit off guards. There's the AT gun hit. Then the snare. That hit was really important.
Firing in the west. Where's it hit this time? Oh, big barrage there.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Where's the SU-85 here? What's he going to come up potentially?
Here comes the Katusha in the centre. Volksgrenadiers in a dire situation. They're clumped up. One rocket's all it takes.
Oh no, he's running into it. What are you doing?
No, he's a genius. He's in the Matrix. Oh, he dodged that beautifully. That was amazing. He's Neo. He is the chosen one.
I'm waiting for the for the model drop now.
Yeah, for Agent Smith to regenerate.
Well, credit to Allies. I mean, all they need to do here is focus the VPs. Like 75 VPs left for Axis, and I think Prodigy and Price have been playing very well, but actually the VPs is something they've neglected this game. And Vonasten and Isildur could find themselves 2-0 up on the series.
Oh, big barrage in the north. They're forcing away all units. That is the zeroing artillery, which will focus on you should you linger in its zone of operation. And the longer you linger, especially. Stukazufus throwing bombs high into the sky. Maxim knows it. And evades.
Suffer, I think he's actually got 2. Is it 2 Stukas now he's got?
Yeah. Kills on that, those bad boys. Got 25 on the Veteran C2 Stuka.
Oh, has he managed to get the Faust there? I think he's a little bit late to get the Faust off on the Sherman. There's a lot going on right now. We've got another Stukazufus for Prodigy. He's trying to clear out the Brits on the left side. There was a bit of a late movement there from Isildur, meaning a lot of models went down and squads have to retreat. Axis need to get back on these VPs. They need to defend the ones they've got and attack their opponents at the same time.
Panther having a bit of a way of the battlefield because Prodigy and Captain S. Price are on death's door of exiting this single elimination competition. Sturmovic's raining fire from the skies above because
I think they've just managed to bomb this. I think we're seeing the bombers come down now. I just want to see if the artillery does go down. It's a good hit.
Yes, it does. It's a good hit indeed. Taken out. There's more to come as well. Strategic bombing in the south. Is the Schwer going to survive this?
I think
just about. There you go.
Yeah, there was a day and a time where air supremacy was actually wiping the OKW structures, but not anymore. Actually, I believe that's been balanced out.
Vet 3 conscripts all the way down. Soldiers fighting for the Radina in a winning effort. 45 victory points. There can be no doubts as to who clearly were the better team and will go into the semi-finals to face the winners of the other quarter-final happening right now. That's Stuve, Kimbo and Brosros Arctic. We will be bringing you that semi-final later on today.
I've got to say, I mean, this whole investment into indirect fire I think has been the point at which they're losing. They are wiping squads and I think they're going to try and use that to their advantage whilst capping the VPs. But at the same time, they've left themselves with big holes in terms of other, mobile anti-infantry that is perhaps a little more reliable on the field. A lot of work needing to be done by the Panther.
2-shift barrage comes in. Stukazufus firing on the Maxim. Forcing away units. Jagdpanzer reversing over the carcasses. Vet 5 phone screen could be going down. That's bad from Captain S. Price.
Really, I mean, have a look at this. The Firefly there, Tulips upgraded, spells trouble for this Panther, and I think they're about to make the push now. Cromwell penetrates on the first shot. Will we see a Tulip to finish off? Firefly has not fired. One more shot, and that will be the end of the Panther. There is a mine there.
Cromwell takes out the Panther with thunderous reception there, and overlooks the French grenadiers who watched on in horror.
Oh wow, oh wow. We're going to see some models drop there to the satchel charge from the penal battalions. How unfortunate that Panther went down without even really scratching the Cromwell. Black Panther 4 a little bit late to the party. 2 VPs to the allies. Not got long of this game left.
Oh, Katusha with a good barrage there. Takes out the MG. Elsewhere in the west, Poach Grenadiers and Stern Pioneers have capped a victory point, but with 32 victory points remaining, they need to cap a lot more, because they will be heading out of the tournament should they not win this game.
On the retreat there, I can see what he's doing. This really is a decisive moment. If Prodigy doesn't take this VP, it's I think it's 100% the game will be over at this point. A lot of work needs to be done, and what have we got coming down here? Some more to cover.
Okay, steady. Should be able to get out of the fire of this. Should be the operative word.
Oh no, this is a tough one though, because it's dropping white phosphorus, of course, taking the health down of all of these models. That being said, a glimmer of hope as the VP is capped. Price is now going for the center VP as well, so she's going to try and get a triple cap off the back of this to try and get back into this game. They have to do it now. got to say, there's a lot of people that aren't good with Stuka positioning, but I think a lot of their shots have been on point.
They have.
You know, they had the right idea every time.
To be honest, they've got 2 victory points now. I know they only have 26 victory points remaining, but you know, they're not in a terrible strategic position. You'll notice there it is actually Prodigy, though, that has suffered a little bit of his army. Let's have a little look at what he has left. It's not too bad. It's just lack of tanks right now. You know, his infantry isn't terrible. He's got 3 MG guns. G-Tank's the gun back team.
Well, I mean, they've at least got some munitions to play. Captain Price, of course, is playing Elite Armoured, and that is you know, notoriously struggling with munitions to spend. But at least he's got enough now for upgrades and throwing incendiaries. That's going to be essential in keeping allies off of these points. Tier 4 there, providing suppression from a distance. We've got another.
Good barrage there this time. And 3 victory points in the hands of the OKW players from the south. This is huge. 26 victory points remaining, yes, but they've shown that their late game composition is holding strong. People had already written this game off, and people are starting to talk about the players as having been, you know, in a commanding and winning position for the north, the allied players. But let's wait and see.
Both players have gone pretty heavy on the indirect fire. I think we've got more of it as well. There's a third Katusha there. And again, they're just trying to clear all the defensive positions that are on these VPs. It's the only thing they can do just to close the game quickly. You find a lot of players, though, in this situation, they tend to fall to pieces when they're desperate to get on the VPs to close a few points. They start making the big mistakes. So there is still comeback potential. It really lies in Vonasten and Isildur to keep that cool.
That's a Vet 3 Penal Battalion squad out muscling the Focus Grenadiers with thanks to the Cromwell. That's 1 victory point down there. Need to get the other, and then they need to eke their opponents down to 26. In all honesty, they may just need to muscle up and punish the squad. A nice Katusha barrage here. Rakettenwerfer bites the dust with the veterancy associated with it.
Yeah, big hits. Big hits there. Stukas are forced to fire in the centre to try and stop the VP being capped. These are being contested by allies everywhere. That's a lot of Stuka barrages in the centre. Do they have anything, though, to deal with the Cromwell tank? The Jagdpanzer IV is there in the rear of this attack.
It's in a good position, yes indeed. And the Stern Pioneers do win out there and force away the conscript. Stukas firing in the east. Well down onto those Brit positions. They do take out the Vickers, but it's one of many. There's the Firefly duking it out with the tank destroyer.
It's actually quite tense. They've got a lot of dancing to do with the Jagdpanzer IV, because of course SU-85 just gets into position on the other side of the river. That SU-85 is trying to kite, and the Katusha is trying to clear the centre out, but Axis somehow still clinging on to those VPs. Stern Pioneers with a great flank on the right-hand side to push away the support weapons covering right VP. Again, they might get a triple cap. They've got a long way to go with 280 VPs, but they're making a good effort.
In 2 versus 2, I think 26 victory points. If you were to lose 2, and it's a strong hold, you've lost the game. That's no margin for error. So Prodigy and Captain Spies cannot afford to lose major engagements anymore. They're at last chance saloon, they're on death's door, and they have to play to their utmost capabilities to stay in this tournament.
I think another thing as well, there's 2 things we're missing here. So I mean, like, Vonasten has the fear propaganda, and this is really hard for VPs because, you know, if Axis are on a VP, fear propaganda can make them retreat off of it. Great tool for the allies. But look at Prodigy here. He's coming up in 100 munitions to zeroing artillery again, which will keep allies off of any area so efficiently. So they've got the tools that they need to try and hold. It's just how they use them.
Well, knows something was coming. He knows that Prodigy, an excellent expert 2 versus 2 player, and for my money, one of the best in the world. Just again, we don't have time to cast anything else but rocket artillery in this cast, or this game rather. It's just like tennis, like a Macabre Armageddon orientated tennis.
destroying the cover position for which the MG34 was hiding behind. Stuka again trying to fire on units, which
this
might
could be good. This could be very good. Oh, it was indeed. Brits squads are very difficult to replace. No squads went down, but the soldiers within them are very expensive indeed and very slow to reinforce.
A bit of return fire there for the Katusha. You can just see the map right now. Completely terraformed, great stealth opportunities for units to go around.
It's a stark, desolate wasteland out there. Reminds me of Stoke-on-Trent. I think I can see my house actually. There we go. Water cover comes in and forces away the Veteran 5 MG34. Oh, big collision there as hot lead went through the barrel of the Rakettenwerfer, or rocket rather, my bad, taking out the Sherman Firefly, and now that's a burning wreck.
This was an amazing counter push. Losing that Firefly is such just it's a really, really bad thing to happen right now, because they need that to deal with the Panzer IV and the Jagdpanzer IV that OKW has. I think Allies have just lost their control of this game. For now. I mean, they've got such a spongy area of operation, 190 victory points. They can muster the forces they need to get back into this field. Propaganda, artillery leaflets falling from the skies. What's happening in the centre? This could be big, you know. If they can get 2 victory points, it's all they need. And they're going to try and get that right now. Here comes the Stukas of Foos. Will he try and dodge? Of course he will. It's falling in the west. No, they're not seeing the danger. Let's have a look what's happening with the sniper. Coming up in the east. Going to take a few pot shots. There we go, just laying down fire. That's the MG34 though. And not a bad... Oh, that first grenade could be going down. Where's the sharpshooter when you need them? Oh,
great vision here. Beautiful.
Oh. What? He took the shot, but it missed, unfortunately.
Stalin organ has warmed up its orchestra. And, it's not a pretty sight.
Oh, this is such...
Vet 4, was that in that Vet 4 MG34 died in the centre there? I think it was, we just saw another squad wipe here.
Yeah, I think.
So he lost the veterancy on the MG34 in the centre, I believe?
I believe
no,
he did.
Escaped. He escaped, that's very odd. Yeah, look at that escape, I'm very surprised by that. Oh no, he recruited, okay, there's so much to keep an eye on. He has a big barrage, they've got to diverge. Isildur was not expecting it to be over there. Vonasten got hit instead.
There's actually so much indirect fire, it's become near impossible to keep track on, because every time you hear it, you can kind of like guess where it goes, and this is going to be chaotic for the players. They're trying to get the VPs, and no player can confidently step into a VP zone without the risk of losing the entire squad anymore. This is a tough retreat.
Yes, it is indeed. Here's some more rocket artillery. Who likes rocket artillery? Put your hands up. Oh wait, you've got no arms left. Never mind. Just shout rocket artillery.
Oh,
or
concussion grenade.
Scream will do. Concussion grenade. Everybody's stunned.
Everyone's stunned to see it used. You know,
that was nice. They lay down for 5 milliseconds. Good ability nowadays. Ooh. Oh, that was a big takeout there. Jumped out of that Cromwell. Now he's gone. Dead and done for. Axe is holding strong in the east. This position. Here comes the conscript. So this is important. If this victory point goes down, they're out of the game unless they can cap the centre. So it's tit for tat, ebb and flow, to and fro gameplay. What's happening in the centre?
In the centre, 2 MGs there. What is holding the VPs? If they can force suppression on the conscripts, they will stop capping. Where do we have... oh, this is
big
the Stuka.
Moment. Yeah, big moment in the east. Stuka goes down. Not doing too much, though. MG was missed in the centre. Oh, conscript was forced away.
It's not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. They have to have...
They need to time everything down. They need to get their Katyushas firing at the right moment. 3 Katyushas, by the way. Look at them. This is horrendous.
Well, I mean, if you're going to clear an area, this is the way to do it. Either team needs to find a way to go and pressure the enemy indirect fire. I think that's actually the key to winning right now, is who gets that first. Look at this, by the way!
Yeah, I was going to say, the Pack 43's been recruited momentarily by Vonasten. It was found out in the east. I was trying to look at the NKVD rifle disruptor tactics. I know it's getting a howitzer in the new build. Just thinking, are they playing on the mod here? But they weren't. He had recruited with Pack 43. Nice barrage there. Things are dying. I can't overhype every single rocket artillery engagement. It does become a little bit...
No, it's
like trying to cast something like horrific, like the Battle of the Somme, you know? it's horrendous. Everybody's just exploding. Not nice.
Oh, it's 2 VPs capped for the Allies at the moment. Fear propaganda has been used. This will force the retreat of any units that come into the VP. These units, I expect, will be forced into suppression. There are Vox Grenadiers trying to attack from the north. AT will try and help with the Cromwell and push that away. But as soon as you see that retreat...
Why did he read the leaflets? He should have just capped the point. He was raising the flag and his friend Carl said, "Hey, Hans, what's this leaflet?" And they read it and now they're running away. Don't read the propaganda.
There is a very slim chance here. Zeroing artillery has been called down. The Raketen is there for sight. This they have to cap this. I think this is the one they have to cap. Otherwise, it's over.
Oh, they've got it. They've got it back. Tell you what, though, they got them down to 11. I said there was no margin for error. Apparently, I was wrong.
Oh, they've got to dodge. They've got to dodge the indirect fire right now. The neutralization is there. That means VPs are no longer ticking down, but they've got to capture it if they're going to keep getting anywhere.
Stun Stukas combo there. It's not a proliferating fire, the Stukas, it's very linear, so you can dodge it. Nice incendiary round. Well dodged there. What's happening in the east? Let's check it out. Are the forces arriving in the east? Who's coming into that position from the Brits and the Soviets? They must be amassing, surely. They are. They're getting their Katyushas ready. They're getting their Sherman Firefly ready. They're going to try and hold the centre and force their way into the east. That's their battle plan. Look at them go. Vonasten and Isildur have assembled their units. They're making one desperate push to destroy the Polish team of Prodigy and Captain S. Price.
No, I think they really didn't want to get Fausted there because the Raketens have already been causing so much chaos. You've still got units
minefield. Being swept by the Royal Engineers. The sappers have gotten past the mines. Raketenwerfer watches on in horror. MG34 is firing. Do they have the gusto to keep capping? Here come more of the boys. Can they do it? 9 victory points remain. Should they cap it? It's neutralised. It's only neutralised. They need to cap. Check the centre out down. What's happening with those Fudge Grenadiers? Are they capping there? Oh, they are.
They might get the cap. There is Katyusha fire down there, but what's really interesting is whether this gets capped. Is there indirect fire available from Prodigy or Price to clear the area?
Oh, they pushed the 6-pounder in and they cleared the area with the rocket artillery in the centre, in the east. The Tommies hold firm. Here comes the King Tiger, but it's just a huge waste of money and resources for the Wehrmacht right now. They should have been concentrating on winning the war. Instead, they built a huge 68.5-ton Behemoth. That's just a centrepiece to talk about for the survivors because they are not doing that right now. 4 victory points will ebb down slowly to 3.
Well, I could see what the idea was. Maybe if they had this out just even slightly earlier, they could have done something to push.
Absolutely not. 1 victory point down, and they are out of the tournament.
Victory is ours.
So many rockets.
Yeah. Well, I thought that the strategy was quite good there. He was trying to make him work for every shot. He was pushing him around the court. He's got old legs, Federer, so to try and make him work every shot and be quite defensive, just keep hitting balls back. It wasn't tennis we were watching, was it? No.
No. Kind of a variation, crossing the woods. Net is being the river in the middle. Yeah, I mean, it's nice actually in a way when you see Allies and Axis, they both go for the indirect fire. It becomes a squad wiping game. Who's got the better precision, aiming on the retreats? But then in the late game, it's just like you've got to throw stuff on to the VPs, and Allies came out victorious. 2 games cleared. First game was a bit of a stomp. Second game, just good play from all 4 players. So Vonasten and Isildur are going to be progressing.
They are. And we also have our first semi-finals have their first players ready. So let's go check that out.
Just bring the brackets up first, just for anybody that wants to see an update of the event so far. And we see, of course, Helping Hands DevM have cleared their series against Lovenest and Refero, meaning that they're out of the tournament.
They are. Lovenest and Refero seem to battle back. They had a connection issue, Refero did, and it was judged that Helping Hands and DevM were in such a victorious position already that the referee said, fair enough, we'll give you that one. Lovenest and Refero battled back, and the deciding game, Hands and DevM have won it in a effectively like a best-of-1 scenario, if you want to discount the disconnection issues, etc. So well played to Lovenest and Refero. They are now watching on, so welcome to the stream, guys. Love those two. We met them at GCS at this very studio, and we also have somebody waiting in the semi-final.
Sorry, We do?
Yeah, we do. Vonasten and Isildur are waiting in the other one.
Oh, I'd said that. Sorry. I thought we were talking about something else.
He's having a third semi-final.
I was just like, yeah, like...
Monage à toi. So, I tell you what. We have 2 semi-finals ready to go. I know that there are a lot of fans of a certain player that is possibly going to be playing the Frenchman Scotch. No, of course, Helping Hands. And you know, there's some big name players there, Helping Hands and Dev, and they've put a lot of hours in publicly on Helping Hands' stream. So I'm willing to kind of see which semi-final might be starting first, or we could put it up to a straw poll.
Are you thinking a straw poll? I think you're thinking a straw poll. I think it's only fair, actually. There's a lot of players who are fans of Helping Hands in the community's biggest streamer. So there'll be a lot of people wanting to cheer him on. Might be a good semi-finals. There's Stuve, Kimbo, Brosras, Artivik going on as a quarter-final game, for which the winners of that would be playing Vonasten and Isildur. So I think actually whoever comes through out of that series would be a good matchup as well. It's hard to say, so we'll leave it in the hands of you.
We will, and we'll be talking to the referees as well. We may have to go on a bit of a break screen to work out what we're going to bring you next, but we're in for the long haul this weekend, Dan. We've got a lot of great content to bring the people. Thanks to lovely... we're at a fantastic studio, 80Hz in Manchester. Check it out at 80hertz.com. But SEGA have funded a fantastic tournament for you all. The publisher's doubling down with Relic Entertainment Studios, best RTS developer out there, for the anniversary